You know what's one of the fun little surprises that came out of the most recent Nintendo Direct? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is coming to the Nintendo Switch. I've already got the game on Wii U, so I would only be picking it up if they added some substantial content. I mean, they added Funky Kong, but that's really easy mode. I mean, in the trailer, the other Kongs had 3 hearts. It's easy mode. But there are a few changes that could definitely change my mind about getting this on the Switch. You know, besides the fact that you can bring it anywhere, but that's besides the point. Changes to the actual game, not changes that come with the new hardware. Okay, so the first big change that has to happen for the Switch version are the load times. I mean, I'm gonna probably be finished talking about this by the time that this load time is over. The load time for entering a level is approximately 17 seconds, and the load time for exiting one is 12. It's really long, and I don't think this should be carried over to the Switch. I don't think it can, honestly. Most games have a better load time on the Switch. An example would be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The second aspect that really needs to be changed in Tropical Freeze is the usefulness of the Kongs. I mean, I like Diddy, I think he controls better than Dixie, but Dixie's double jump is just too useful, and she gets more airtime because of it than Diddy's, making Diddy's ability virtually useless. Even though he does control better, he has less options and less capability. That really shouldn't be a sacrifice anyone should be making, and definitely not if Diddy's your staple Kong. I think they can change Dixie's to give her less airtime and give her that double jump with a little bit less flutter just to make her less useful than Diddy, or maybe make Diddy more useful by allowing him to have a second jump is on top of his you know hover. There's also Cranky Kong, who can use his cane and is very good at dodging urchins underwater, but really, you're going to be using Dixie in the underwater levels because of her ability that allows her to go through portals, just once again making Diddy's ability useless as he can go faster, but not as fast as Dixie, or as strong. I might be mixing those up there. Cranky can be useful on Spike's levels where you don't really need to do a lot of high jumps, but really you're going to be using Dixie as much as possible in this game if you want to complete it the easiest. The third is something that I can see if they don't want to change, but I think they should change it anyway. The bonus rooms are quite bland compared to the rest of the game. If you know this game, you know that everything in every level is unique. But the bonus stages are some of the most bland in the game. Even if they gave each world just a little bit of a different bonus stage, that would be much appreciated, with a different background each time, of course. A tiny little change that I'm 100% certain they'll do is upgrading the graphics so that it runs at almost 1080p on docked mode. But even if that was guaranteed anyway, it's worth mentioning here because I want something of substantial amounts there to get me hooked on getting the game, even if it's just a little one that I know they'll add anyway. So, something that's probably not going to make it in, but something I want anyway, is adding more worlds to the game. The game is a bit short compared to other Donkey Kong games, and it makes up for it in its high difficulty, but I would love if they added at least one more world to the experience. They've got to come up with some other type of forest. They've already done birch, alpine, mangroves. Uh, they've done savanna, which I wouldn't even think of. They've done a jungle. They've done the palm trees. What else could they really add? You might be thinking. Well, I don't know. Why are you asking me? Just come up with a different. Just come up with a different forest idea. They've done pretty much every type of forest that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, they could just do a normal forest. Well, that solves our problem there, doesn't it? Moving on. Now, this probably should have mentioned with Kongs and their usefulness, but I want it to be easier to switch between the sidekick Kongs in co-op. Because right now, you choose which one you want, and then you buy something from the shop if you want to switch. In-game currency should not be the way to allow this to happen. So, just an easier, more streamlined way to change between the Kongs. Easy feature they could add, and just that would be easy. They could do it easily. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if it wasn't in there, but I really want it in there. It would make it a lot easier playing co-op with my brothers. Before we move on, it's worth mentioning that I think HD Rumble should be included some way or another in the game. Because HD Rumble is one of the Switch's coolest new features. I mean, besides being able to bring a game anywhere and on your TV. But HD Rumble is definitely a feature I would want included in Donkey Kong Country. But it's probably going to be in there anyway. I just hope that it's used a lot, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a lot. That game used it a lot. I really want HD Rumble. It's one of my favorite features that the Switch has. I mean, the IR sensor could be used, but really it's a Wii U port, so there's nothing they could really do there. Speaking of which, they really didn't use the Wii U at all, did they? They would have no trouble just porting this over. But adding the few new features I'm talking about could take a little bit of their time. Now, this isn't just top 10 things I want in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for Switch. Boy, that's a mouthful. But it is saying what I think could be great about it. So it's worth mentioning the easy mode. I mean, I already mentioned it and how it's really not what anyone wants, but maybe it's what it needs. I mean, not really, but still, it's worth mentioning. Easy mode is there so that it can fit more of the Switch's pick up and play nature, which is really unfitting considering Mario 3D World didn't get a second one, but Mario Odyssey was made. But I guess they're marketed towards different demographics, I guess. But it's confusing the way that they choose these decisions. But it is Retro Studios working on this, not Nintendo themselves directly. But they do want to make the game easier with the new funky easy mode, whatever that is. So, what are my thoughts on that? Do I think that could be good? Yes, I do think it could be good. I think it's there for younger players. I'm not going to be interested in it, but I hope it doesn't take any of their time or effort out of the actual features that we want to see in the game. I might have not mentioned a few features that you guys want in the game, but I certainly want everything on this list. But a feature that could also balance out how the new easy mode is added is what if they added a hard mode to the game? I mean, the game's already hard enough and they already have a hard mode, but still, what if they added a newer, harder mode, like an expert mode? something that'll satisfy the hardcore people who already beat the hard mode on Donkey Kong Country on Wii U. So, hopefully something of that sort will be included. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make some predictions about what I think will be announced. I think that they probably won't go with making a whole new world. I don't think most of this stuff will be in here. At least not when it's announced. I think, when is this game coming out? I don't know. It's sometime in spring. They're going to have another direct before then, definitely. So, yeah. in that direct, I bet that we are going to see some sort of announcement for a challenge, maybe online race. I'm betting online race for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, where they have a level, you're racing online. It would be a lot like Time Attack mode, except a bit different. That's why I bet they're gonna reveal that in their next Nintendo Direct before it comes out. Probably they're gonna have their own Direct for it. Maybe they're gonna reveal a little of these. It's like it's upgraded, and they're probably gonna mention that real quickly. And it's like new HD Rumble that allows you to feel stuff, and a lot of the easier ones they're probably not going to have a world. Like knowing them, they're not gonna have a new world, but you know, hopefully that. They'll probably show the way to switch between the Kongs easier. They might. I don't think they're gonna switch anything about their abilities. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're gonna reveal the challenge mode. That's pretty much it. There's probably not gonna be anything super exciting or anything, but it's gonna be at least some of the stuff on this list. They might reveal the bonus rooms. That's still so. I just don't see them revealing that in a direct. I really don't, but they might. They might have listened to us and revealed that. I think that's going to be in the game, though. I don't know how they'd reveal in a direct, but they kind of have to. I mean, how would they not? So, yeah, they're going to reveal that. They're going to do all that. Yeah, that's my predictions for what this game is going to actually end up being like. Though this is pretty much all the stuff I want in the game and how they could implement it. Even if they don't do like a normal forest world. If they want a new world, just come up with an idea. I mean, I don't have any ideas, but they came up with the savannah, and I wouldn't have come up with that, so they can come up with better ideas than I can. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Well, not review, analysis of what could be great about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for Switch. That concludes this. Goodbye.